Hello, my honeys. So, me and Little Mama finished the, went ahead and we finished Borderlands 4. And I must say, it was pretty cool. It's been a lot of fun, but there are some issues, me personally. And I think Little Mama feels the same way I do. First thing, like the big thing, we got a problem with is the co-op situation is lacking a bit. Whenever she joins my session, man, it really struggles. She has the hardest time focusing on what's going on when there's a bunch of enemies around us. So it feels like there's a desync issue going on, which is not great. And it's still a problem. Even though they've had several updates, it's still a problem. So, they come out with updates, but I'm not really sure what these updates are for. Not really.
That's one more step toward freedom. Glad to see those lines cleared out. To the resistance.
And I enjoy the world a lot, and I like the activities. I know a lot of people can say things like, well, you know, it's all repetitious. Yeah, it is a little repetitious, but if you like to play a game like this, you're enjoying the open world, which I do, and you enjoy the gameplay, then all the repetitious activities in the game are opportunities for you to go out, continuing to enjoy the world, and enjoying, like you're enjoying the gameplay, right? So there's all these opportunities, and yeah, they're all repetitious, but you know, I don't know of any game that doesn't have repetitious activities. So yeah, if you're enjoying the world you're in and you enjoy the gameplay, repetitious activities is not really a dig at the game. And I don't think that Borderlands 4 suffers from that. I do think that Borderlands 4 suffers from lack of content in terms of I kind of feel like the DLCs that are coming out are things that were supposed to be in the game and they sort of locked them behind a paywall. I feel like there is locked content for this game, right? It was purposely set up that way. So, I mean, I don't feel the world is empty, but I do feel like meaningful content, it was purposely locked. I don't know. You could just tell, you could feel it wherever you go in the game. I don't know if that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, co-op is still for, like, somebody comes into your session, they're probably going to have a bad time on the PlayStation 5. They could, as a guest in your world, in the middle of combat, you know, surrounded by enemies. This seems to be desync issues. I think there is a problem that persists with the game where the enemy AI is sort of gets like stuck in animations, if that makes sense. I visited a bunker over by where Sanctuary had crashed in the mountains, and I was gonna take on the boss, but I walked in and all of the enemies were just kind of like tweaking. They were walking around, but they were tweaking. So I left the bunker, an update hit, I came back to visit the bunker, and the enemies were fine. So I do feel like they are making little improvements here and there, but arguably some of this stuff could have been fixed. It could have already been fixed before the game launched, right? The game was suffering from problems before it launched, and it's still got issues. Nothing horrible, nothing that really broke the experience. There's some side quests, like the longer you play, the more likely you're going to run into problems. Like if I play for more than 3 hours and I'm doing a side quest, a lot of times side quest breaks and I have to load out and load back into the game, and then the side quest works, right? That happened at least 3 or 4 times. It's annoying. They could fix that. That would be nice. I do feel like like the damage that you put out at enemies, I still think there's moments where the enemy is not responding to damage. It's slight, it's brief. It could last up to a few seconds. You know, you kind of have to cycle through your weapons to correct it. I don't know why those two things are linked, but you know, it's not my game. I didn't make it. But yeah, the story, again, I've told you guys before, I don't play Borderlands for the story. How was the story? The ending was very confusing. You take on the Timekeeper, and he feels like he is a cross between Tyrene and Troy from Borderlands 3, where they just basically took both their boss fights and they duct taped them together. So he gets like this two-phase thing going on. And it's fine. As a matter of fact, it was harder to get to him. The different fights that we had to go through, like the different wave of enemies, just to get up the tower was a lot more difficult than he was to fight, which was really a bit weird. Then you go to open up the vault and you get whisked away by AJ. And I'm here to tell you the thing about AJ, the thing with AJ is I don't know if they're gonna reveal something about this in perhaps a DLC, but AJ insists on treating you like you were like a really good friend of his. But AJ is this character you meet at the beginning of the game. He dies, you don't see him again, but he talks to you like he's really close. And I know some people are saying, well, maybe it's just like bad writing, right? Maybe there was more to AJ's story in the original draft for the game, and that's why he comes off like this is supposed to be an amazing oh no moment when you first see that, you know, he's a bad guy now. And I wonder if maybe there's going to be a DLC that comes out later where you get to visit an alternative series of events where AJ and you and your Vault Hunter really were friends, right? So the AJ you meet in the base game is that version of him. You see, he treats you like you're a really good friend of his, but really, you know, I'm thinking, dude, I barely knew you, but maybe from a different timeline, right? Where you two were like really tight or something. That could be a thing in the DLCs, but then again, we do know that Gearbox is not really good at writing Borderlands stories, except for Tales from the Borderlands. The first one was good. Uh, so maybe that could have just been a fluke, or maybe there is a DLC coming where there's an alternative events and AJ and you are really close, and that AJ confronts your Vault Hunter in the base game. That would be interesting, but I don't know if Gearbox would. I don't know. Maybe I would be giving them too much credit for a DLC story like that. But yeah, I kind of do feel like it feels like the world, I don't feel like the world is that empty. I think it's really fun to explore. I think there's lots of cool activities. The jury is still out on how I feel about the post game content. It seems like there's still a lot to do here, you know, and Lilith said that Kairos is still full of problems or whatever, you know. And it kind of, I don't know, just for a split moment, it flipped in my brain. Preston Garvey saying, "There's another settlement that needs your help." It kind of felt like that moment with Lilith. You know, there's still lots of work to do, Kairos. Another settlement needs your help. Uh, Overall, everything I enjoyed about the game in the first 5, 6 hours, I still enjoy those things after 100 hours. But yeah, co-op is still crappy for someone who comes into your world. And I don't necessarily feel like enemies are responding properly every single time to your damage output, which that may never get resolved. And I do feel that this game probably could have, I don't know, added some different activities other than here's one. Okay, so that time capsule. Grab it, and then with it in your hand, you have to hoof it to a safe house, take it to a machine, unlock it, and there's loot. Loot comes out. So that's what that is. This is a side quest. These are deadbolts that you just find throughout the world. This radio here, you're gonna hack into it, and then you're gonna protect your Echo device, while it changes the radio station or something, and you get like 3 or 4 waves of enemies in. There's a bunker. I really enjoy those. Safe houses are fun. Side quests were fun. So yeah, it's there's some good stuff here. Is it meaningful though? These are fun. Yeah, the Ripper drill sites are fun. The world bosses are fun. I didn't fight any enemy that wasn't fun in this game. I think uh the Moxie big encore machines are cool. I do agree with other people though that little icon should be a fast travel link. I do agree with that. Then there's echo logs to find. The world is fun to explore. It does feel like there's meaningful content is was designed to be locked behind paywalls. I can't quite put my finger on it. We'll have to see when the DLCs come out, to where I can really say, "Aha, this is what I meant. This is what I'm talking about." But for right now, I'm just going to say I can't put my finger on it. I do feel like meaningful content was locked behind a paywall for this game. I do hope that the end game content continues to hold the bar, right? And I think it will, because Tiny Tina's Wonderland is a favorite of me and Little Mama's. Our biggest criticism, though, was the lack of end game content, and it feels like Gearbox wants to. They got rid of the True Vault Hunter mode. That's fine. It's fine. I just hope that the activities that they offer you in the world of Kairos, more than keep you invested, right? So we'll have to see what the end game content was. I'm not quite there yet with that. If it's better than I mean, anything's better than a chaos chamber. We grinded out the chaos chamber. We did have a lot of fun in the chaos chamber until we got bored with it from Tiny Tina's. So I do agree that Gearbox getting rid of the True Vault Hunter mode was probably a really good idea. I agree with that. I think they should have gotten rid of it for this game. They may return it though. Who knows? They may decide to go ahead and add a True Vault Hunter mode for people that want to grind out the story over and over again. It's possible. I'm not saying I would hate that, but I don't think this world needs it. Not really. So the loot drops were a little disappointing as well. That's something else I wanted to mention too. I'm not going to say that the weapons in this game suck. They don't. If you know what you're looking for, and you know how it's going to complement your style of play, you could have a rockin' good time with blue and purple weapons. That's a good thing. And I did come across some legendary weapons that were really awesome, but of course you outgrow them at some point. There was a couple SMGs that really, I mean, I had one that was shooting bees. That was amazing. It was a lot of fun. So they scaled back the legendaries. I appreciate that. They made the blue and purple weapons more meaningful. There's a customization machine that's now unlocked for the post game activities. That looks like it could be really fun and really cool because there are some things that I like about some guns and some things I like about other guns. I'd love to combine that shit and see what I can make. So, yeah, I honestly still feel the same way I did when I first started playing the game. After 100 hours, I feel the exact same way. Lots of fun. I could get lost in this game for hours still. A lot more of this map has been unlocked with my siren. Uh, yeah, it still needs some work. It does. They need to address issues with like character mods. You bring down some boss and you see a legendary character mod drop, and you go over to it, and it's Amon, Amon this, Amon that. I've got dozens of character mods for Amon, and I'm not even interested in him. You'll be playing as Harlow or Vex or Rafa. You know, it'll be curious when I finally sit down and play Amon. You know, uh, which Vault Hunter is gonna I'm gonna get the most character mods for because I guarantee it won't be him. He's really been the star of my campaign because all kinds of crap drops for him, and you have to go around and buy character mods, or you have to grind a separate Vault Hunter to see if you can get character mods to drop for the other character you're playing. It's a bit weird, not great. Um, but yeah, really enjoyed this. Really enjoyed it. The Halloween special was stupid. That felt like a real desperate sort of attempt to get people to play the game again. It's like, here, go fight these world bosses. You might get some good stuff. Probably not, but you might. Hopefully if they would just sit down and make their little events more meaningful, I think that would, not just the loot, but the experience of the event, right? Make it fun and engaging. So yes, strong points. Fun world to explore. Lots of cool little side activities get involved with. The story, I don't know. It's a Borderlands story. I don't care. Uh, the loot was a lot better balanced in this game. Probably would like to have seen some more legendary drops, but the purple and blue weapons were fun enough. If you know what you're looking for, they can carry you quite a bit. I didn't care for the order guns, but I enjoyed the rippers and the I don't know. There was that other manufacturer. I can't pronounce it. I don't care. But yeah, all the guns feel really good. The ones that you're looking for. I feel like shotguns really. I feel like sniper rifles came back into the game pretty strong. They were good in 2, not so great in 3, and now they're really good again. So the sniper rifles are good. The shotguns feel much better. They felt really good in Borderlands 3. They feel even better in this one. Overall, it's a fantastic experience. Um, but it does feel like something's missing, and that's where the DLCs are gonna kind of fill that out. I don't know how I feel about that. Locking content behind a wall like that, not great. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. Borderlands 4, awesome. Still a really awesome game. They got like a lot they need to fix. So, Anyway, yeah. I hope you found it informative. All my yakking and yammering and stuttering and buttering. Anyway, that's all I got for now. You all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, and I will catch you on the flip side.